Hi, this is State Representative Patrick Sheehan, and this is your weekly legislative update. The big news is just now we came off the floor of the House and we have passed the Funeral Civility Act, and passed by a much higher margin than I expected. We got 55 yes votes and just 3 no's, so I'm very pleased with that. It's off to the Senate now, where we hope that it will get a quick hearing and vote, and then off to the governor's desk. Also, earlier this week, I voted in favor of a bill which changed the way the kicker is handled. Now, I'm a strong proponent of the kicker. I think it's an incredibly important gesture that we make to the taxpayers to say that we are not going to grow government every time the revenue comes in higher than it was expected. It's important to return that money to the taxpayers, and so I'm a huge proponent of the kicker, but the mechanism we were using to get the money back to the taxpayers was costing the state a lot of money, and right now we're trying to cut every corner that we can so that we can preserve some of the programs that everyone's expecting, and keeping the schools funded, and keeping health programs and things like that going. So this bill changes it from a check that's issued to you to being a tax credit. So you'll get your money back with your tax refund if you get a tax refund. Otherwise, it just offsets your tax liability. So this is a really good bill. It should save about $700,000 a year just in the issuance of the check. There's also some borrowing costs that's typically been done in the past with kicker checks. So this is a great bill. It preserves the kicker, and it just changes the mechanism of how you get it. So I'm very happy to have voted for this bill. Earlier this week, I voted against House Bill 2732. This was a bill carried by a representative from Beaverton that was a well-intentioned bill that had a lot of unintended consequences. The bill ended up passing, but I was against it. It equated to an unfunded mandate on schools, and this is a high school graduation requirement that forces high school students to complete and submit an application, either for college, an apprenticeship, or the military, and there's no money associated with it, so the students would have to come up with that money on their own, or the schools would have to come up with that money on their own, and the schools would have to account for it and make sure that the students had done this. I just see this as another unfunded mandate to schools, more bureaucracy, and it also, I think, is going to create an unfair amount of paperwork to come to the community colleges and the military, which are the agencies that are not going to have application fees. So the argument of, well, they can always send it to the community college, it interferes with their ability to forecast enrollment and things like that. So I was against that bill. I also want to congratulate Sheehan, who has secured the presidency of Clackamas High School. Way to go, Sheehan. So that's your legislative update for this week, and if you have any questions, please feel free to call me, 503-986-1451, or you can email me at patrick@patricksheehan.org. Love to hear your questions. If you want one answered here, I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, I'm happy to have a personal conversation with you too. So looking forward to next time, and please be in touch if you need anything at all. Thank you.